We're going to continue, just a reminder, this is lesson 9.1 and we are now on example 2. And remember, we're using the law of sines to solve these examples. So in this example, I am solving for angle D. And it looks like I have the side directly across from angle D. And it also looks like I am given angle E and the side directly across from angle E. So I'm going to scooch this stuff up a little bit. So the proportion I want to write is the sine of E, the sine of angle E over side E is equal to the sine of angle D over side D. Now let's fill in the values that are given. And remember, we are solving for D, angle D. So the sine of E, angle E, is 58 degrees over side E would be over 24 equals the sine of angle D over side D, which is 28. And once again, this D is what I'm solving for. So I'm going to do my cross multiplication and continue on. So when I cross multiply, I would have the sine of 58 degrees times 28 is going to be equal to the sine of angle D times 24. Solving for angle D, so I'm going to divide both sides by 24. And I'm going to have the sine of 58 degrees times 28 divided by 24 equals the sine of D. Now I'm going to put all of this into my calculator, and what I get when I put all that in is, on the right side of the equation I still have the sine of D, and on the left I have 0.9894. Now what this statement right here says is angle D has a sine of 0.9894. So what I need to know is, what is the angle? Ooh, that did not look good. What angle has sine of 0.9894? Because I'm trying to find the angle measure. And the way you do that is you use the inverse of the sine, and that is sine inverse. You have that button on your calculator, and that gives you the angle when you input the sine. So into your calculator you want to put sine inverse of 0.9894. Incidentally, sine inverse is also sometimes referred to as arc sine. Just in case you ever see that in another book or another video. Arc sine and inverse of sine are the same thing. Okay, when I put this in my calculator, what I get out is, I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to get 81.65. So if I round this to the nearest degree, this says that angle D is equal to approximately 82 degrees. So when you know the sine and you're trying to find the angle, that's when you use sine inverse. Alright, let's look at example 3 next. Okay, so here's example 3. I'm going to see if I can scooch this up a little here. Give me a little more room. So they give me a diagram here, and it says when the sun's angle of elevation, so angle of elevation is when I'm going up. So the sun's angle of elevation is 76 degrees, so that would be that angle right there. And as a tree is tilted at an angle of 4 degrees from vertical, and it casts an 18-foot shadow. And then there is the picture of all of that. And what they're asking us to do is find the height of the tree. So this side right here is our unknown. Well, the first thing I notice is down here I have a right angle. And I have this 4 degrees. So I'm going to take this triangle here and draw it separately. I'll put it over here. Because when I do that, it's just a little bit cleaner to find everything that I'm looking for. And I'm going to put some labels on it. I'm going to call it A, B, and C. So this A, this is the tree. So that is my unknown. I also know, let me make these in black, I also know that's 76. And this angle right here is going to be 90 degrees minus 4 degrees, right? Because there was a right angle up here. Part of it was 4 degrees. So that angle right there is going to be 86 degrees. And then I can find angle B by saying B is going to be equal to 180 minus 76 degrees minus 86 degrees. So angle B is going to be 18 degrees. Okay, so angle B is 18 degrees. Okay, so now I have all of my angles. And also, there's one other given piece of information, and that is that this edge is equal to 18, because it said we had an 18-foot shadow. So now it's looking like I can use the law of sines here to write some proportions, because I have angle B is 18 degrees, and I have the side across from it is length 18. So I'm going to say the sine of angle B, which is 18 degrees, over side B, which is 18, is going to be proportional. I'm trying to find side A, that's the length of my tree, so I want to say is proportional to angle A, the sine of angle A, which is 76 degrees, over side A, which is what I'm trying to find. Remember, side A is the height of the tree. Alright, so now I just need to solve using my cross multiplication like I have, and I'm going to have the sine of 18 degrees times A is equal to the sine of 76 degrees times 18. And then I would divide both sides by the sine of 18 to get A alone, because here's my A. So I would have A equals the sine of 76 degrees times 18 all over the sine of 18 degrees. And then all of that I can put in my calculator, and what I end up getting when I put the right side up here in my calculator is 56.52. I'm going to go back, read my problem, and notice it said find the height of the tree to the nearest foot. So I'm going to say tree is approximately 52 feet. Okay, that's it for example 2. I'm going to try to go ahead and put example 4 in this same video. Alright, so here we have example 4. It's another word problem, but this time we have to draw the picture ourselves. See if I can get rid of that line there. Okay, let me scooch this up so I have a little more room. So you can read this, and why don't you just pause the video and read it, and then come back and take a look at my diagram. So A and B represent my towers, and up here C represents my fire. And it's given that this angle is 43 degrees, right? Because they said angle BAC is 43 degrees. And it's given that angle ABC is 68 degrees. And they also tell me that a Ranger Tower at point A is 42 kilometers north of Ranger Tower at point B. So I know that side is equal to 42. And the question is, I'm going to call this side B and this side A. The question is, which is closer to the fire? So in order to find out which is closer, I need to find out how long B is and how long A is and see which one is closer. So once again, I can find C by simply taking 180 minus 43 minus 68, and then I know C is equal to 69 degrees. So now I can use my law signs to set up some proportions. Directly across from C is the side length that I know. So I want to say the sine of angle C is 69 degrees, over 42 is equal to, I can pick either one to solve for here first. I'm going to solve for A. So I'm going to say is equal to the sine of angle A, which is 43 degrees, divided by A, which is unknown. Okay, then I'm going to do my cross multiplication, and I'm going to get the sine of 69 degrees times A is equal to the sine of 43 degrees times 42. I'm going to divide both sides by the sine of 69, and I'm going to have the sine of 43 degrees times 42 divided by the sine of 69 degrees is, all of that is equal to A. And all of this I put in my calculator. You should do it too to check me. And what I find out is A is equal to 30.7. Okay, so that's important, but that is not my final answer. I still don't know which tower is closer. So now I want to set up, so now I'm finding B. Okay, so I'm going to set up basically the same proportion. I'm going to start with the sine of 69 degrees over 42. That's the sine of angle C over side C. But this time I'm going to set it equal to the sine of angle B, which is 68 degrees, over side B. And then when I rearrange that proportion, which you can do on your own, I'm going to skip that step. I end up with the sine of 68 times 42, all of that divided by the sine of 69. That's what B is going to be equal to. All of this in my calculator, and what I found was that B was equal to 41.7. Okay, now let me see if I can answer the question here. So B, here's B, it's 41.7. A is 30.7. So this distance is shorter, so tower B, so to answer my question, tower B is closer to the fire. And I think that is what they asked, which ranger tower is closer to the fire? So tower B, because side A is shorter, tower B is closer to the fire. All right, that's the last example for 9-2. If you need to, rewind and watch any of the examples again.